So this is something I feel like should be discussed and talked about a little bit. Because one thing about these types of individuals, not all of them get caught. In fact, some of them will have ties, higher level organizations that will help protect them in doing this kind of shit related to at least one of these. Which I feel like if you help one of these pull it off, you're one too. It don't matter if you did the crime directly. If you helped pull it off and you knew that's what they were trying to get away with doing, you're just as guilty. But when I was 7 years old, someone I was very close to, for a long time I looked at like was my savior. Crazy how that works, isn't it? And somehow they decided to start telling me, now, trigger warning, this could get a little gory with the details. They had told me that they have people, but made me think that those people deserved it, that they were bad people, telling me awful things they did in order to justify doing those things. Mind you, I was only 7. You would think, after me asking, well, what do you do with the body? That they would have spared me the details, but no, they told me exactly what they did. One of the ways they try to get away with what they've done, the ocean. They go out on a boat, cut the body up, and take chains and cinder blocks, put them throughout the rib cage, and sink the remains and stuff far out where nobody will be able to find it easily. I trusted these people. Think twice about it because they told me they were bad people. Now, there was multiple times I had heard stories about incidents, and I didn't really piece it together fully until I saw these people's true colors come out. Mind you, like I said, I loved and trusted this person fully. It's the last fucking thing I should have ever done. You don't think things like that really in depth until you're faced with it. And you're faced to see the lengths these people will go to, especially to hide who they really are. And anybody that knew me growing up and knew my family knows who I'm talking about. And one of the biggest indicators that I didn't just imagine it, because, you know, when I approached them with it after the fact of them trying to get me to unalive myself and even trying to unalive me themselves, when I would ask the victims' names, they told me they couldn't tell me in case I ever had to testify against them in court. That's the reason I ever found out what testify meant in the first place, as a child nonetheless. I didn't know what any of that shit meant. Whenever, you know, I get old enough to have it done to me, they would say I imagined it and it never happened. Bitch, there's so many people that see what this person's done now. And one thing I've learned, because you learn a lot, being put in those kind of situations alone with no protection or no one person trying to help you out of it when you find out the truth and start screaming for help. One thing I was forced to analyze is when that same person has a pattern of accepting people towards the end of their life or even at full life capacity, but then all of a sudden their health declines and their health slowly goes downhill. Each person in the home has had the same exact symptoms as one another. You start noticing a pattern. You start realizing how many crafty ways people can get away with doing those kinds of things. And after things like specifically covertly poisoning people, I would think those would cause brain hemorrhages and tumors and aneurysms, things along that nature. The probability of having so many people go out that way, where their health declines, they don't go immediately, no, they'll become a vegetable first. And that person will soak up all the attention they get from being such a good person and taking care of said victim, when realistically they were the one doing it to them in the first place. I realized I was being poisoned. I became a lot more weary about what this person had to offer me, because little did I know, they were doing it to me too. And started getting more obvious with it, to where there was no doubt about it. They would get mad and try to force me to ingest what I knew was tainted. Really summed it all up and tied a lot of pieces together. When I found insurance policies, not only me, another victim in the house. And one more thing I didn't take into consideration was when I trusted this person with my children, my autistic son ended up in the lake twice and he couldn't swim while under this person's care. This person would purposely not watch my child and would try ensuring me that he was safe when he was not. Mind you, my whole entire family that lives close to me at least, and even some that don't, are well aware that there's no excuse as to why that would happen 2 different times. I didn't find out it was twice until way after. But little did I know, it wasn't an accident. They just didn't give a fuck about my kid. And mind you, people who have my children right now allow this person to talk to them and get mad at them for not associating with this person, showing love to this person. Kind of seems like they're in on it too, don't it? Just saying. People should really use their brains, especially when a person is crying for help. And instead of helping said person, you want to talk shit about them or attack them. Just know the ones who lied on me, now you know what you're helping some people get away with. But I guess the moral of the story is be careful about who you trust. Because I promise you, a lot more people like to try to get away with this and will help with this than you even realize. Doing this to fearmonger, I'm doing this to make you aware. Because it's something I wish I would have recognized a long time ago. But I hope this might help somebody in some way to realize it's a lot more common than you think.